Dylan McMillan here, going to talk about my MLF Toyota Series event this past weekend on Lake Okeechobee, and you're not going to want to miss how I did it. Check it out. Into it. So MLF Toyota Series event on Lake Okeechobee this past weekend, 7th place finish. I got to practice from Saturday until the tournament, so I was fortunate enough to that. Thank you to Ripping It Outdoors for giving me a little bit of time off. Saturday I fished, Sunday I fished. I think I had a combined weight of like 14 pounds with 10 fish. It was terrible. I was really not looking forward to the tournament, but Monday it turned around. I was able to find a group of fish, doing a little bit different style than we have all year, which was great. It's kind of my style. It's pitching. And I expanded on that area Tuesday. I found my three main areas that had some really big fish moving in. And then going into Wednesday, I narrowed down what specific spot, what I felt like had the best fish out of those 3 areas, and that's where I started. So I didn't fish very clean during this tournament, which if you're going to win in this caliber and with these caliber guys that we're fishing against, you have to fish clean. And I did not. My first 3 bites of that morning, I took off as boat number 20 and got to my spot at around 7:10, 7:15, and I missed my first 3 bites. I did follow it up on my next 3 bites to catch all 3. I caught a 2-pounder, I caught a 7, one close to 7 and one close to 6. So that was great. Caught a few other little ones, and then, maybe 30, 45 minutes later, I jump off a 5 right at the boat within net range, and I lost a 7 and some thick stuff. And then I really fished clean the rest of the day. Up until the end, I did lose an 8+ pounder right next to the boat. I fumbled the net. It's very embarrassing. I will make a short out of it. It'll probably blow up because of what a terrible job I did. But nevertheless, I end up weighing 23 pounds in on Monday, on Thursday, the first day of the tournament. Going into Friday, I was a later boat number. I felt like that was going to really help me because I felt like a lot of the guys that had caught them late in the day, so I didn't have to wait until 5. So I got to fish from 7:45, 8 o'clock until 4:45. And when I got into the area, there were some hole buzzards. Of course, you know who you are. That's just one thing you don't do, man. Don't, just because you see me catching fish there the day before you saw me do good, don't come into the area the second day after you caught 8 pounds and I haven't seen you here all practice. That it's not common courtesy. You're never going to do good like that. So it'll make you a better fisherman actually having to find your own fish, and that's what I would recommend. So, I let that all out of my mind. I didn't let it bother me. I ended up catching a 5 and one close to 3 around 10 o'clock. From 10 to 1 o'clock, I had about 12 pounds total. I went to one of my secondary areas. It was all blown out, so I came back to my main area. Got in back about 1:30, and from 1:30 to 2:20, I catch 22 pounds, close to 22 pounds. Kind of finished my day there. Going into day 3, I was in 5th place against some true hammers. And I knew I was going to have to catch them big, but the wind blew really hard out of the east, and it messed up my area completely. So I had to scramble. I went down south. I ended up catching close to 8 pounds, and I finished in 7th place. Hats off to Robert Brana at Aquatech Marine for completely destroying the competition for all 3 days. He led for all 3 days. I think it took 3rd place guy weighing in on the final day to finally knock Robert out of the hot seat. That's just unheard of on Lake Okeechobee. Usually it's, back and forth, and he just dominated the field. Actually, when I was congratulating him, I told him if I ever won an event like this caliber, I want to win it the way that Rob did. Leading all 3 days, just leaving nothing out there on the table, and, really proving something to a lot of people that you competed against some of these professionals that came and fished the tournament that, have huge sponsors and, get paid everything. You just destroyed it. So hats off to you, buddy. Congratulations again. It was well deserved. Kind of go into bait breakdown, kind of how how I was able to get a 7th place finish. So I was pitching round reeds, cattails, and joint grass using a Epic Tungsten. So Epic Tungsten right here, I found that this is the best tungsten weight on the market, will not cut your braid or your fluorocarbon. I was using another company and they're god awful now, and I would break off immediately on the hook set every single time. Brand new braid, everything, you know, freshly retied, it didn't matter, you'd break off. And I do not break off ever with Epic Tungsten. So get yourself some Epic Tungstens. I'm not sponsored by them in any way, shape, or form. I'm just telling you I really believe in the product, and this is the way to go. I was using a 4/0 Gamakatsu hook paired with a Gambler Boxercraw. Kind of a hidden little gem here. Not a lot of people are pitching it that I see, and I get a lot of bites behind guys, you know, behind true flippers that have flipped, and that's the way their preferred method of catching them, and I'll still go behind them and catch them up because the bait's better than what they're using. So black and blue flake, as you can see here, you know, those things are just constantly moving. You get a little bit of water flow and those things flutter, and it's not like a vibration, it's a silent movement, and it just really irritates the bass. So I was using my custom, or my prototype 7/8 heavy fast Scenko Stix. So great thing about Scenko Stix is you never have to give up a quality. You know, you got these are handcrafted in the USA, made specifically by Alex Tarasenko. He does a fantastic job, makes more rods than any other company out there. And with what you get with Scenko Stix is you have sensitivity, and you also have backbone. And most rods you have to give up one or the other, and with Scenko Stix you don't. So very reliable. They held up for me. Like I said, this is a prototype. We're hoping to have it out here soon. There is a little bit of modification we want to do before releasing it, but it's pretty much set in stone. I was able to finish 7th with it, hands down. So check Scenko Stix out. You'll fall in love if you ever get to actually use one of their rods. So do yourself a favor. Going into the 3rd day, I had to go down south and throw a chatterbait in the crowd, as you say. I was using a 3/8 ounce jackhammer. I was going behind guys that had fished down there for 3 days and still get more bites than them. Like I went behind these guys that knew the sweet spots, and I didn't really know them because I only got to practice down there 1 day, and it's because of the Gambler Komodo trailer. It's not your typical swim bait, paddle swim bait. It's very subtle, and you can get a lot of bites behind guys. So keep that little trick there when you're fishing in some high pressured areas and those fish are finicky. You'll get 10 times more bites using the Gambler Komodo. Rod of choice is a BTO 7-1 glass composite rod. I like the glass composite just because I feel like it keeps the fish pinned a lot more. This is a prototype. We are working to release this as well. I don't see any modifications with this rod. This rod is perfect, and we're hoping to get it out soon. So keep checking the Scenko Stix website for the release. And you know, like I said, I didn't fish very clean throughout the tournament. I could have finished a lot better, maybe had a 2nd or 3rd place finish, but that's fishing. I'm very blessed to be able to finish 7th place on the home pond. You know, prove to those guys that we know what we're doing down here. So I was pretty happy with the finish. And some more exciting news, guys. I got some new badass batteries that I want to share with you guys. I'm telling you, once you put these in your boat, you will never use another battery company out there. So let's go check them out. All right, guys, we're here at the back of the boat. I wanted to go over with you my setup, my battery setup for the year. So I am running 2 AGMs. They're 103 amp hour in parallel. That will be powering my entire electronics, all of my electrical, my pumps, power pole pumps, live wells, lights, etc. Just everything. And I am running 2 36 volt lithiums. They're 50 amp hour system from Amped Outdoors. As you can see right here, these bad boys are something spectacular, guys. I'm also running their boat charger, which is a 3-bank charger. 2 of the banks are specifically made for your 12 volt charger, or your 12 volt batteries, I'm sorry. And then there's 1 designated for your 36 volt system. And how I have mine set up to charge and discharge evenly we're gonna hook the positive terminal lead to the positive that is connected to my trolling motor cable, and the negative on the second battery that is connected to my negative trolling motor battery. That way you have proper charge and discharge. You don't have any issues. You know, you could hook them all up on one battery from what I've been told, but essentially that could cause some issues to where only one battery gets charged, the other one doesn't get the full charge. So I ran this setup for the Toyota Series event, and I probably never had to even charge my batteries the entire time in regards to my lithiums. I fished the second day from 7:45 until 4:45, and when I got back and plugged in my batteries were at 82%, meaning I only used 18% of the capacity. That is unheard of, guys. Do yourself a favor, go check out Amped Outdoors. You can actually check it out on our website, rippingitoutdoors.com. Get your batteries today. Never be stranded out on the water like I've been in the past. Do yourself a favor and check Amped Outdoors out. Thank you, guys.